I'm thrilled really with the way that it has been accepted, and the report was accepted not by the government but by the community, and I think it's one of the blots on the Howard reign of 7 years really so far, is their inability to take hold of that graciously and to say, yes, it was wrong and we are sorry. That would have meant so much. The community said it. I mean, the 1 million signatures in sorry books said it, and but the government couldn't bring themselves to say it, and the reasons were so puerile, really. I mean, the threat of compensation, well, there's only been the one case in the territory, and the difficulties of proof of something 50 years ago was exposed by that case.
Well, the federal government has to represent all the people, and we don't believe that all the people would back a formal apology. There is division in the community over this. There are those that wish to say sorry, and that's their right to do so, to sign sorry books. On the other hand, many people don't relate to it at all, and I've had many people say to me they're uncomfortable with the word sorry for something that they had nothing to do with and that were actions of the past. I think we've got to work this through, but I don't think you can pressure people in by a guilt industry to sign things that they don't feel necessarily involved with.
Why should not the Aboriginal people of this nation be accorded equality? Why not? Why not let the Aboriginal people of this nation have the same experience and the same access when, for malicious reasons or non-malicious reasons, deep personal damage is done to you, you have recourse? Why not? Why should that not happen? Why are they not people who are at least equal to us in the opportunities that are available to them? Now, that's not an easy process to contemplate. I was going to read some of these cases, but I can't. But, Mr. Speaker, you can't walk away from them. This chamber can't walk away from them. The government can't walk away from them.
As I said at the convention on Monday, I continue to feel a deep personal sorrow for people who've suffered injustices under past practices. But I believe, and the government believes, as a matter of law, also as a matter of good government and as a matter of common sense, the notion that any contemporary society can go down the path of compensating for conduct which, although at the time it was embraced, was legal and was believed by a significant number of people who were involved in it to have been carried out for a positive purpose, that however much we now, in the fullness of time and with the passage of time, might regard that as being an unacceptable practice, that once a nation begins to go down that path, there is in fact no end. There will be no end to the number of claims that can be made and allegations made that the conduct of an earlier generation, judged at the time to be acceptable by people on both sides of politics in that earlier generation, let that not be forgotten.
We've had mean-spiritedness. We've had an apology that I must say, I was there on Monday. Aboriginal people are generous people. When the apology was first given, they turned and looked at the Prime Minister and clapped spontaneously. But then the qualifications came. It was a mean-spirited, grudging apology from a mean-spirited and narrow-minded Prime Minister. He diminishes not only his office, he diminishes the nation. The nation is watching, the world is watching. Prime Minister, leadership is required. Leadership from the highest office. You shame your office by your conduct. You shame the nation by your conduct.
While Australia's politicians grappled with the deeply shocking material in the Bringing Them Home report, life went on for the members of the stolen generations, who continued to live with their burden of pain, grief and broken identity.
You know what I miss? Like I went to Uluru with my people in '99, and the women, my sisters and aunties took me out bush and teaching me my culture. I feel as if I'm personally caught between two worlds and I can't get out of it, because it's something that's been made for me through being removed. Because I came to Canberra because I felt that I could be of more use to our people on the national level by highlighting these things. But then when I go back home, I wish I could stay longer, and you know, I'd be merging into being an elder in my community if I'd stayed there, and I'd know all my language. I mean, I had to learn my Pidginjara language in January at the summer school, you know, which is something you do when you're small. So every now and then I get frustrated and say this and that, but it's, I also feel that my life has been set out for me because of these policies. When you've got reasonable education, I just feel that I have to use that to progress and ensure that justice and rights come for our people.
Audrey's story is a common one among the stolen generations and is a legacy of Australia's failed attempt at genocide through the work of its government officers, ironically named Protectors of Aborigines.
Here is the answer. 3 generations. Half-blood grandmother, quadroon daughter, octoroon grandson. Now, as you can see, in the 3rd generation, or 3rd cross, no trace of native origin is apparent. The continuing infiltration of white blood finally stamps out the black colour. The Aboriginal has simply been bred out.